All right, it's 7:30. I'd like to call to order the third regular council meeting, the Village of Minerva, February 9th, 2021. Let the minutes show that all council members are present. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all tonight. We're coming across on YouTube live tonight. So if you're wanting to watch, and we're also out on Spectrum. So I don't see at this time any guest that is on the Zoom meeting tonight. I'm not seeing anybody. So we'll move on from there into the consensus items. Motion is in order to approve the minutes of the second regular council meeting held January 26, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Meadows,
Yay.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Hannon.
Yeah.
Motion so approved. Motion is in order to approve the financial statement for the month of January.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion second. Roll call.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Meadows,
Yay.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Hannon.
Yay.
Motion so approved. Motion in order to approve the bills totaling $298,834 for the month of January.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second. Roll call.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Meadows,
Yay.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Hannon.
Yay.
Motion so approved. That's all the consensus items tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Phil Tursky, the administrator.
Just a couple of updates for council. We finished our cure period through OPWC. We applied through the district for funding for North Market Phase 2. They have sent our application down to the state for fall small government funding. So they give us an opportunity to change our application if we see fit. We added a little bit more information and sent that down yesterday. If we were selected, we would receive $145,000 in grant funding from the state. I want to thank JT and the guys in the street department. They did a great job getting the snow removed last night from uptown. It was building up, and with the cold weather coming up, it was needed to get out of there. Pavilion rentals, as we talked about, we'll be putting out some documentation to the public shortly, but we will not be having pavilion rentals this year. It'll be a first come, first serve. We'll make sure that there's plenty of porta-johns down there for use as well. The trash will be collected one time over the weekend. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Phil. I'd like to turn it over to J.T. Williams, the service director.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a busy couple of weeks in the street department. We repaired a hydraulic leak on the roller. They were called out for road conditions on January 28th, 31st, February 1st, and February 9th. We're so far for the season at 632 tons. So it looks like we're going to meet our minimum order from Cargill. And last night we did remove the snow piles from the uptown area. Water department, that ongoing GIS project, they're still locating assets. The water superintendent met with the contractor to get updated quotes for the interior and exterior storage tank coatings that are scheduled for the year. And we had a 1.5 inch feeder line water main break yesterday. We were assisted by the park department. The line's in poor condition. We're gonna have to look at replacing that line on Northwest Street, north of Line. In the wastewater department, we covered this in workshop, but I'll just be brief. The dairy had an incident on January 29th, where they had a pH imbalance. It caused some issues with the biomass of their plant. They were giving us some heavy solids. To me, it appeared that they were not taking efforts that were required to mitigate the discharge. So we did issue them a notice of suspension on February 3rd with a disconnection set for February 4th if they did not be able to become compliant. They did become compliant on February 4th so that the notice of suspension was rescinded. On last Friday, on February 5th, we had a bulking issue in one of our clarifiers down at the plant. And we did release some solids for a period of about 2 hours, and we notified the EPA, and we're waiting to hear back from them. Agri-sludge, they hauled out an additional 100,000 gallons of sludge from the digester storage down at the plant. Our press has been down for a lot of December and January due to polymer supply issues, and we've been unable to press our normal volume. And actually yesterday, a roller bearing in the sludge press, we started having problems with that, so the guys tore that apart and got it fixed this morning, and the press is back online today. Did a great job with that. Park department are still working on winter maintenance items. We completed the 2021 U.S. Census boundary and annexation survey. And in zoning, we've had no new nuisance cases filed. We did have one zoning permit that was issued, and my reports attached. In the swimming pool, we are getting a hold of past employees to see who we're going to have for this year, and then we're going to arrange for recertification. We're also getting a hold of a plumber to try and give us a quote on the concession. And that's all I have, Mayor, unless you have any questions.
Anything for JT at this time? Thank you, JT. Clark?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have anything at this time, so we'll go into old new business. Motion is in order for third reading and passage of resolution number 1-21, authorizing interfund transfer of interest earned proportionally from specific accounts from the general fund back to the respective accounts generating said interest. This is a third reading, and this will be a motion for approving third reading and for passage.
I'll make
Make
that
that
motion.
motion. I'll second.
First and second, Clark, or I'm sorry,
Resolution number 1-21. Would you want to have the roll?
well, go ahead and have the reading because it's going to be for passage.
Okay. Resolution number 1-21, authorizing the interfund transfer of interest earned proportionally from specific accounts from the general fund back to the respective accounts generating said interest earnings.
Thank you, Clark. Roll call.
Meadows,
Yay.
Hannon,
Yay.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Tarbit.
Yay. Resolution 1-21 so resolved. On to the next item, motion order for third reading and for passage of resolution number 2-21, authorizing the finance director to move monies from one line item to another.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Clark,
Resolution number 2-21, authorizing the finance director to move monies from one line item to another within the funds that are solely designated as allowable transfers by the auditor of the state of Ohio and the Ohio Revised Code. The approval of such allowable transfers is for fiscal year 2021.
roll call.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Hannan,
Yay.
Meadows.
Yay.
Resolution 221 so resolved. Moving to the next item. Motion order to have a third reading and for passage of ordinance number 3-21, authorizing bill administrator to advertise and receive bids for milling of various municipal streets. This will be for third reading and for passage.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Clark, let's make it official.
Ordinance number 3-21, authorizing the village administrator to advertise and receive bids for the milling of various municipal streets.
Roll call.
Meadows,
Yay.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Hannan,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Boldazar.
Yay.
Ordinance day, street days 21 is so ordained. Next item on here is a motion is in order to have third reading and for passage of ordinance number 421, authorizing the village administrator to advertise, receive bids for material for resurfacing. Clark, or I'm sorry, motion, please. Or
I'll make the
Clark, go
motion.
ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead, Clark.
Ordinance number 4-21, authorizing the village administrator to advertise and receive bids for material and or labor for resurfacing of village streets and other municipally owned properties.
Roll call.
Meadows,
Yay.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Hannan,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Boldazar.
Yay.
Ordinance dash 421 is so ordained. Motion order for third reading and for passage of ordinance 5-21, authorizing village administrator to authorize the village of Minerva to sell personal property not needed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Clark,
Ordinance number 5-21, an ordinance authorizing the village of Minerva, Ohio to sell personal property not needed for public use, obsolete, or unfit for use by internet auction pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 721.15.
roll call.
Meadows,
Yay.
Hannan,
Yay.
Boldazar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Tarbit.
Yay. Ordinance 5-21 is so ordained. The next item on our agenda, a motion is in order to accept the quote of Farron. I believe the proper name there, JT, is Farron Lawn Service or Farron
Lawn care.
Lawn
Farron
Care?
Lawn Care.
Farron Lawn Care for mowing and weed control of the village-owned cemeteries in amount not to exceed, what is that amount, Phil?
19,900.
8,900.
It's 19,500 for the mowing.
I'm doing
We
both.
separated
This
up the
is in
quotes.
weed control. We're doing both.
I believe there's another motion on the agenda for the weed control.
No,
There's two separate ones, JT. There's one for just mowing and there's one for mowing
Okay.
and weed control. So it's 19.9.
9.
that's with weed control and mowing.
Correct.
So the motion will be to accept the quote of Farron for mowing and weed control of the village-owned cemeteries in amount not to exceed 19,900.
I'll make a motion.
Matt,
I'll
Second.
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 Mason? Roll call.
Oldesar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Hannon,
Yay.
Meadows.
Yay.
Motion so approved. Just for the public note, that is a 1-year contract with them. And we have added weed control as we've had requests in the past to help control weeds and stuff in the cemetery. So,
Hey, Mayor, we also added extra mows in the spring.
correct.
And had good conversation with Farron. So we're hoping that those are positive differences in what we saw from last year and years past to this year.
So, two times in May and June, right? Twice a week, May and June?
Yeah. And one of them is always going to be on a Thursday or Friday. Is that correct?
It's written in the specs, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, that's just all of our stated business. Does anybody have, we're gonna go into a executive session. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up before we go into executive session?
Not tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Will we need any action when we come back, Phil?
Not for me, no.
Will be no action taken when we come back out of executive session. So, all right, I need motion order to go into executive session for eminent legal litigation with counsel, and we're going to invite the administrator and the law director.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Roll call.
Tarbit,
Yay.
Meadows,
Yay.
Oldesar,
Yay.
Kishman,
Yay.
Hannon.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be
All right,
back.
real quick. Yeah,
Hold
there's
on.
going to be a little bit of a delay. We got to get it scheduled for the next minute. It'll go off. I'll get back on here and then let everybody know when we're
So,
off of Spectrum.
just sit tight till you come back.
Yes, I'll be right back.
All right.